Alright guys, so this has to be the stupidest question that I see on my channel like on a regular basis. I'm moving to an area but I'm unfamiliar with it. I'm buying a house. Stop for a minute. Why are you buying a house in an area you are unfamiliar with? When Walgreens decides that they want to install a new Walgreens, or I'm outside of a Publix right now, before they put in a new Publix, they do analytical studies. They send people to the ground and they evaluate whether this community will be able to sustain a Publix. You think Publix just buys a piece of land and puts a Publix there? Do you think before they put in a Publix or a Walgreens or a CVS that they just go and put a Publix somewhere? It's like the dumbest question ever, and I see this question all the time. I'm not familiar with an area, but I'm buying a house there. By the way, I did that, and it was about the stupidest thing I did my whole life. But I didn't really have a lot of options. It seems like if you're buying a house in a somewhat decent area, that you do have options. Unless you're in some type of like really desperate situation, that does not make a lot of sense to me. Why you would do that? Why would you buy a house in a place you're completely unfamiliar with?
Need that?
Oh, I'm just waiting for my wife to get out.
Oh, okay.
You need it?
I'm cleaning up.
All
I
right.
just didn't want to take it if you were going to need it.
No, I'm not gonna use it. I'm just waiting for the wife. She should be ready to get out any minute.
Hi.
Like I said, why would you buy a house in a place you're not familiar with? It's about the dumbest thing you could do. Like, they don't just put a Publix like randomly somewhere. They don't just put a Walgreens randomly somewhere. Like, you're buying a house, it cannot just be a random place. Like, it's just somebody emailed me saying, well, we're gonna move to a random place in Florida. Never been there, don't know anything about it. Only thing I know about it is I saw a YouTube video there. Like, where the crap is your mind when you do that? Because, now you should see it. You should more than see it. You should evaluate it. You should spend some time there. I think the dumbest thing I ever did was buying a house in a place I had never been to. And I think if you're doing this, you're probably doing exactly the same thing, which is possibly the absolute dumbest thing you're ever going to do in your life, is to buy a house in a place you are not familiar with, you know nothing about. Why do that? Visit the place first. Rent first. Why not rent first? I just don't understand this rush to buy that people have right now. This rush to get a hold of a debt. Because most people aren't buying it cash. At least I bought myself cash. I don't get this rush to get into debt. What's the rush to get into debt? Not only are you getting into debt, but you're getting into debt over a piece of property in a place you don't know if you're going to like. It's almost like you're forcing yourself. Like, you're not even giving yourself the dignity of getting something you want. You're just, your life is whatever car the dealership says you're approved by, whatever house a bank says you're approved for. Like, you have to give yourself more dignity than whatever a bank pre-approves you for, or whatever. You got to give yourself more dignity than that. And you know you're not going to like it. That's why you're forcing yourself to do it, because how many cars getting towed away over there? You know you're not going to like it. That's why you're forcing yourself to do it like that. Because you know that if you were to take your time and to study the area and the place, that you would not like it. So you're going to buy a house. You wouldn't rent. Think about this. You wouldn't rent in a place because you don't like it, but then you force yourself to buy a house there. What is the logic behind doing that? There's no logic to it. You should not buy a house in a place you're not familiar with, you don't like. And if you wouldn't rent for 6 to 8 months or a year, what makes you think you're going to buy there? Like, well, you should buy in a place where you know for a fact is a place you would want to be. Like, why would you buy in a place where you don't even know? Like, you wouldn't rent there, but you would buy there. What logic is there of that? Like, just to flip the script on you, I would rent where I live now, but I wouldn't buy because it's overpriced. So, the notion of buying a house in a place you wouldn't rent makes no sense to me. What is the rush to get into a debt? What's the rush to get into debt? That's what I don't get. Like, at the end of the day, home ownership is one of the dumbest things you could do if you're a regular working class person. I've seen people where they'll buy a house, every penny they had saved into a down payment. Now they're stuck with this mortgage payment, 2 car payments, and a bunch of debt. So now they're like paying, I don't know, the first $4,000, $6,000 they make are gone. You know, the Yukon, the house payment, the mortgage, this, blah, 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 gone. Then a hurricane comes through and they jack up your homeowner's insurance. So now your mortgage goes from being like $2,600 to being $3,400. What are you gonna do? You don't own it. If the bank decides you have to insure it for more, guess what you have to do because you have a mortgage? Insure it for more. Then a hurricane comes through, takes off your roof. You think your homeowner's insurance is going to cover it? Surprise. Your homeowner's insurance only covers the left side of your roof and the right side of your roof blew off. So guess what you have to do? Out of pocket. Like, you don't have it out of pocket. What do? Get another credit card. Now you're not paying $5,000 a month. Now you're paying $6,000 a month. But wait, there's more. When you bought the house, the air conditioner wasn't good. So what did? You grabbed a credit card and you swiped the credit card for a $10,000 air conditioning system. Guess what? The people that installed the air conditioning didn't install it right. And now the air conditioner is not working even though it's 6 months old. Well, wait. What do? You grab your last credit card and you pay another company to fix the air conditioner because they didn't do it right. Company comes and says, well, the company that installed this air conditioner didn't do it right. This is not up to code. So now it's going to cost you $20,000 more. What are you going to do? You swipe that credit card, and now you're not paying $6,000. Now you're paying $7,000 a month. And then all of a sudden, since you're on well water, the well system breaks too. Well, the person that sold you the house installed a new well system, so you're thinking there's no reason for it to fail. So you hire somebody to come out and service it. Guy comes out to service it and says, hey, the system is brand new, but it's not really an approved system. It's kind of like a black market system. So even though it's installed and it was working, it's missing a few things. It's not up to code. And the only way you're going to be able to get a new water in your house is going to be to replace this entire system. And you're thinking, it's brand spanking new. The person who sold me the house installed it brand new, but they didn't do it the right way. So now what do you have to do? Whatever little bit of money savings you got left, now that goes to that. Next thing you know, that dream of becoming a home ownership becomes a nightmare. And that is what a lot of people are going through right now. Because to buy a house, they'll sell you the house. You give them the down payment, you get your credit right, they'll sell you the house. But you're paying a mortgage, you're paying a roof, you're paying homeowner's insurance, and they're jacking it up every single day. But wait, there's more. In the same neighborhood where you live, 3,000 or 4,000 other people who are just as desperate as you did the same exact thing as you did. And some of those people have decided that in order to make a quick come up, they were going to defraud their insurance company, their car insurance company. So now you get a letter in the mail saying, wait, you were paying $180 for car insurance, but in the zip code you live are a bunch of desperate scammers. So we have decided that your insurance, which was previously only $187, now your car insurance is going to be $480 because in your zip code, people have been doing a lot of scams because they're in the same situation as you. So now your car insurance goes up. Now it's not $6,700. Now it's $7,000 a month that are coming in and going right out the door. In all that time, you could have been renting a place for $2,000 a month, When the air conditioner broke, you called the rental company, they fixed it. When the water didn't work, they fixed it. When the hurricane came, they fixed it. When the homeowner's insurance went up, their problem. When, well, first of all, your apartment is now in a suburban area where your car insurance isn't going to go up, unlike a residential area where people are scamming up their crazy levels, because the people that are renting in a suburban area where these new apartments are, they're not doing insurance fraud, but the people that are living in a residential area are. Now, your car insurance would have been less if you were in the apartment complex. Maybe in the apartment complex, you would have got a letter saying, hey, now it's not $187 for insurance. Now it's $100 for insurance, because you live in an area where there's not too much fraud or accidents, because there's not really much going on out here in the suburbs. The moral of this story is that you don't have to be in a rush to buy a house, especially in a place you've never been to, never seen before, never know if you like it. By the way, a lot of the areas in Central Florida got as expensive as South Florida, with the exception that there's no jobs. And now a lot of people from Central Florida commuting to other parts of Florida to find work. So if you're looking at, like, anywhere near Lakeland, Auburndale, Winter Gardens, Winter Havens, all those little areas around Central Florida, the job market is completely down. There wasn't too much, doesn't look like there's too much tourism and snowboarding this year because of the hurricanes and a few other factors. So what now? All right, guys, think about that. Don't buy a house in a place you don't know. Don't be in a rush to buy a house, period. What's the rush? Is the house going to go anywhere? Where's the house? Is it going to go? Is it going to grow up airlines and go? Don't think so.